Farmer digs up ancient artifact, then realizes something's not right. He raced back to his room, took the ring out from his drawer, and searched his top to confirm his suspicions. What exactly did his father unearth? And there he saw it. Exactly what he had thought. His heart pounded as he stared at the 4th century ring with absolute horror. Quickly, he grabbed it and threw it out of his window. What was it? What was wrong? Farmer Joe Harding was tending to his field with his son when he stumbled upon an ancient artifact that was shrouded in a web of dark secrets and mystery which would change his life forever. It was a cold, dry day in Kingsbridge, UK, as Joe plowed his field with his son, Luke. The field was big, so he needed the help of a second plow machine that his son operated. Joe was a hardworking man, his life belonged to the livestock and land that surrounded his country home. He was a modest man who loved his wife and his only son, Luke. Luke was a teenager, and like his father, he grew up learning the skills and history of his homeland from his father. His was the 4th generation of Hardings who'd have his path paved out for him before he was even born. But there was something different about Luke. Luke was obsessed with folklore and myths. He relished the stories his father told him about fairies and banshees when he was young. They lived in an old stone farmhouse where the closest neighbor was a drive away. So, it was easy to believe in the magic that entertained his eager mind at a young age. As he grew, so did his interest and his superstition towards all things unknown, and for good reason. Joe and Luke had an early start to the day. It was a foggy and dry morning, the kind where your breath dispels a big puff of smoke. They started working separately at opposite ends of the field. It was about 2 hours in when Joe heard a thud underneath his wheels. Curious, he stalled the engine and hopped out to have a look. A big rock was unearthed by his plow machine. With produce to grow, he picked the hefty rock up with 2 hands and hoisted it to the side ditch. He returned to his tractor and was just about to hop back in when something shiny caught his eye. Beneath his feet, where the big rock was, lay a dazzling sliver of light. Mesmerized, he picked it up and studied the object between his hands. His eyes popped as he took in the inscribed gold ring. It looked like it had been buried there for hundreds of years, and it was. Elated, he got back in his tractor and made his way to his son to show him his incredibly beautiful find. At first, Luke celebrated the potential value of this find with his father, but then he looked closer and his heart dropped. On the gold ring was a Latin inscription, Sinitianis. Luke had seen this Latin phrase before. It was linked to a story he read that happened in the 4th century. Right then, Luke realized what they had found. It was incredibly valuable, but also incredibly dangerous. His eyes fill with horror as he pleads with his father to put it back. But it was too late. It had already been disturbed. Putting it back now wouldn't make a difference. Joe watched as Luke's wheels started turning. He asked him what was wrong. But Luke wouldn't explain. After all, what he knew and what he thought they found, it was all just superstition, wasn't it? Luke asked his dad could he mind the ring. His dad obliged. They continued their day's work without a glitch, but everything was already set in motion. That night, Luke was woken by the thundering sound of his father coughing. His mother had been up all night tending to him. Luke crept down to the kitchen where they were sitting. "Are you okay, Dad?" Luke asked. "Yes, son, just a sudden cold, that's all." "Go back to bed," he replied. His mother gave him a reassuring nod, but Luke knew something was wrong. He raced back up to his room, took the gold ring out from his drawer, and searched his laptop to confirm his suspicions. What exactly did his father unearth earlier today? It was an hour into his research before Luke drew an undeniable conclusion. His heart pounded as he stared at the 4th century gold ring with absolute fear. Quickly, he grabbed it and threw it out of his window. What was it? What was wrong? As legend had it, this particular ring was cursed. The phrase Sinitianis was used to curse those who found it with no good health until it was returned to its rightful owner. This was a problem, seeing as its original owner, King Silvianus, had long since passed away during the 4th century. But why was it cursed? King Silvianus put a curse on the ring because it was stolen from the Temple of Nodens. He thereafter cursed anyone who found it until they returned it to him. But was this really real? Luke had heard about the legend of this ring before, but he wasn't sure until he read the historical accounts he found online about the ring being found by numerous people throughout the ages. Each reported discovery of the ring came with its own account of misfortune that befell its new owner. A stark and serious warning to avoid the ring at all costs was plastered across the sites he was reading. Terrified the ring had made his father ill, Luke quickly discarded it from their house. But was it cast far enough away, and did it really make his father sick, or did he just throw a fortune out the window? He posted his story online, but it received mixed reviews. Some people asked him where he threw it so that they could benefit from the fortune he discarded. Others saluted him for his act of valor and impressive knowledge about a 4th century old story that most would have never heard about. But what do you think Luke should have done?